YouTube. Good evening, good morning, welcome back again. Be careful for BTC because we're still underneath major resistance. We're forming a bearish divergence on the 1 hour time frame. That means that there's a high possibility that you will see downside. It doesn't mean that we're going down crazy, There's a high possibility that we retrace the 786 as I showed you guys yesterday. I will show you guys also later on in this video which 786 it is. Nothing really changed actually. We're still crazy in the gains, long position. We're bullish on the lower time frames, and we're starting to become bullish on the higher time frames now, right? Price is just retracing and makes higher highs and higher lows and lower highs and lower lows on different time frames, but it doesn't mean that you will see downside, right? This price is building up, and what you actually want to see is a reversal on the higher time frames. And actually the daily shows you already that you have a market structure shift because you're closing a higher low above previous swing low, right? So as I said, guys, let's go to the chart. So as you guys can see now, we're watching at BTC to USDT again, and I want to show you guys one thing. Once the daily time frame retraces the 786, you will go to the moon. If you backtest this, then you know it, So if you are in a long position now, congratulations, you did a good job, and just hold that position, move your stop loss not too tight, because it's normally that we retrace the 786 on the daily. For example, there's a possibility that we retrace this 786 here, right? So there's a possibility that the price comes to 82.4k, but that doesn't mean that you're bearish. It's just a healthy retracement to go way more up, right? So if you backtest this, it's just normal. So, if you're long, just keep your position. You did a good job, and, trust your model. And the thing is actually about this 786, if you check this, watch what happened after this, what we did here actually. It was not really on this swing low because, they played sneaky on the 3-day time frame, I thought, and it was this swing high, right? And you can see how crazy we dipped in sell side liquidity and bumped up. Usually it's the 618 or the 786, but in this case it was the 618, right? 618, and same story also for this one. 618. So if you come to the 786 on the daily, bro, trust me, with a bearish bullish divergence on the daily, you go to the moon. It doesn't mean that you can see this as a bear flag. This is already a market structure shift. It looks like a bear flag, but a bear flag in a discount market is not playing out. Most likely will not play out, right? Same as a bull flag in a premium will fail 68% of the time. That's just how it goes, backtest it, and that's the thing. So we're making higher highs, higher lows on the daily time frame, so you're bullish. One thing that you have to be careful for actually is that when you go to the 8 hour, you can see this sneaky swing low here. That's actually the one we're retracing. It's also previous resistance on this daily candle, right? What I showed you guys yesterday. We broke through it actually. We have another one also here. So that's the one we are rejecting now at this moment. But if you go to the lower time frames now, you can see actually the 1 hour is a little bit concerning, right? Because we're almost eagle, and you can see that we become bearish now. So I'm still expecting BTC to come down eventually, grab sell side liquidity, and fill up this daily fair value gap, right? Let me make this a little bit more nice so you guys can see it way more better. There is a fair value gap here, right? So most likely we're gonna fill this thing. But it's also a healthy retracement on the 786. So why should we just not close it and retrace the 786 to break previous resistance and become support again, right? So that's just how it goes, right? Making higher highs, higher lows, market structure shift on the daily time frame, bullish divergence, you will see upside. You know, this is not financial advice, but this is based on experience. And if you backtest this, all these flags on the daily, they all play out after a retracement on the 786, as I showed you guys before, right? So guys, you know, just see this as a new opportunity to jump in the market. So again, you know, if you want to enter this trade, just enter on the 786. There's a fair value gap here. Most likely we will fill this gap. And, you know, you can enter on the 786. You know, we as crypto gainers let the price come to us. We don't chase green candles. You know, if a price is, if a coin is pumping, it's really weird to enter a long position with a market order, right? First of all, you pay more fees. After all, you're chasing candles and you're longing at major resistance. So there's a high possibility that the price will come against you, you know? So we always let the price come to us. And this is a lot of confluence on the 1 hour, the 30 minute that you will see downside. So why should you just not wait to get a better price, right? That's a little bit the thing, you know, just wait and don't chase candles. For example, if we go to other altcoins now at this moment, let's say, well, let's get Dogecoin here. Doge was pumping today. And what you can see actually on Doge is very interesting because Doge retraced the 786 also, right? So this is a new confirmation how respected this 786 is actually. Maybe it's this one, yeah. See how respected this 786 is actually, you know. And the thing is also, when you go to the daily time frame, you know that Doge is heading to major resistance now. So why should you go long here? You know, you can expect a reversal. You're on the daily time frame. You're heading to crazy resistance. So you have to break it before, right? So that's a little bit the thing, you know. Just don't try to chase these trades. You know, you had an opportunity to jump in here. So why should you jump in here actually? If you use a low leverage and a low liquidation price, I can understand that it's okay to wait for retracement, but you know, I like to buy the best prices ever, and we can expect downside here, you know. If you look at the RSI, you can see this crazy bearish divergence, so you know that the price will come down, right? So that's a little bit it, you know, and that's how I analyze every asset at the moment. You see, if you entered here on Ethereum, we didn't hit the entry yet perfectly, but then you had just a crazy trade, 2400%, because you were patient, you didn't chase, right? So that's a little bit it, you know, just be patient, don't chase, and trust your model. Actually, if you're in a long position now, you know, congratulations, you're making gains, and that's where we're here for, right? Gains. But for now, you know, BTC, can I get my thingy back? Doge. Yeah, BTC. So for now, you know, just wait for an entry on the 786. We fill up this fair value gap. You see now that we're rejecting this resistance again. The 1 hour becomes bearish, so you can expect downside. You know, people are longing, see this bullish divergence, put their stop losses here. There's a lot of liquidity here. We have this fair value gap with liquidity underneath this flags. You know, there's a fair value gap on the daily, but it doesn't mean that there's no liquidity actually. If you grab the VRVP with it, then you can see that the lower time frames has this crazy spike. So there's liquidity actually. So guys, you know, don't stress out. You're in a good trade. Just keep it, and we buy longs at support and we sell at resistance, or we take profit at resistance, or we add to our position at resistance. So as I said, guys, I thank you all for watching. Have a great evening, stay safe, make profits, and God bless you all. See you in my next video.